Hi everybody, welcome back again to my YouTube channel, The Making of a Chef Program, Lecture and Seminars, Day 6 in Alphabetical A. Today's I'm gonna talk to you about the culinary arts on food terminology, including the description, ingredients, and method of preparation. And before we dive into our discussion, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and click the notifications bell. Thank you for joining us today. So as we start the terminology, we begin with the Angel biscuits. This biscuit is a light, fluffy biscuits leavened with yeast, baking powder, and baking soda. The dough must be refrigerated overnight or several days before baking it. Next word become up the Angel food cake. This light, airy cake made without egg yolks and or other fats. Its structure is based on its air whip into the egg whites. It typically baked in a tube pan. Next word now we have the Angelica. This Angelica term referred to as herb of a parsley family with pale green celery-like stalk used to flavor liquors and sweet wines. The stalks are often candied and used to describe a dessert or decorated for dessert. Next word on the term Angel pie. This word refers to a cream pie, usually lemon, prepared of baked meringue pie shell. The word again, these angels on horseback and hors d'oeuvres of a shark oyster wrapped in bacon, broiled and served in buttered toast points. Next word we call this Angel's Tea, a cocktail made of cream de cacao or made maraschino liquor or a cream served with a pony glass garnished with maraschino cherry. Next word, this term called this anglaise. Anglaisa, or this is a French word referred to a French preparation method associated with English cuisine. The vegetables are poached or boiled and served plain or with chopped parsley and butter. Our principal ingredients is coated in breadcrumbs and pan-fried. Next term or word we call this anémelier. This French word from France described for a sweetbreads, and this also word referred to a general French culinary term for an animal testicle. Next word we call the anise. Anise is a small annual member of the parsley family, native to the eastern Mediterranean region, has bright green leaves with a mild licorice flavor that is sometimes used as herb or in a salad. Next term we have the anise seed. This is referred to a tiny greenly egg-shaped seeds of anise plant, has a distinctive licorice flavor used to flavor sweets and savory dishes, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. Next term we have the kimo. The kimo is a Japanese dish of cooked monkfish, usually or liver, monkfish liver served in sky or skis, resembling a foie gras. This also a word ampan. Also a Japanese term referred to a Japanese yeast roll with a sweet red bean filling. Next term we have this anticochos. This refers to Peruvian dish of charcoal beef heart on a skewer that are marinated in hot chilies, herb and vinegar. that are marinated in a herb and vinegar, grilled, served with chili sauce. Now next is the Antin sauce with the Dantan sauce. We call this is in the French is a type of a compound sauce in France made from Madeira sauce, flavored with dry white wine and garnished with mushroom, truffles, and fine herbs. The next word, this is word antipasto or the antipasto. This is referred to in Italian for before pasta and used to describe hot and cold appetizer. Usually simple and foods such as cheeses, sausages, marinated vegetables, or the like. Next, we have the antihito. This is referred to Spanish for a little, whim, or used to describe any appetizer or example like the tapas. Next term, we have the owa gyuse. Ayayusa this referred to a green coloring obtained from spinach leaf used in Japanese cuisine to color savory and sweet food. Next, term of the anonon. Iaonanon used to refer to a green flakes of seaweed used as flavoring in Japanese cuisine. Ayonegi. The word ayonegi is referred to a Japanese for a green onion. Next term we have the apasonion. This term referred to an edible wild onion found in the U.S. has a flavor similar to that of coral onion. Next word, the aperitif. This word or term referred to any beverages, usually alcoholic, consumed before a meal to whet the appetite. Now, next term we have the aphrodisiac. This is a term used as a food or drink believed to be arouse sexual desire. Now, this word friends also again, this afwa or the appoint. Afwa may refer to a steak cooked to a medium stage, or this also term referred to a friends for food cooked to the perfect degree of dampness. Apparel, the term apparel, this refers to a mixture of different elements used in a preparation of a dish like chicken croquet and mixture. Next term we have the apa. It's a kind of bowl-shaped rice pancake leavened with the sap of the coconut palm and usually eaten before breakfast in Sri Lanka and in southern India, also known as hopper, and when they form from fine string of dough or a string of hopper. This apalachicola. This term word refers to a variety of Atlantic oyster found in Gulf of Mexico and off the Florida coast. This word apalayandauri jensau tolye this term referred to a French laws in regulating producer use of labeling terms describing wine of a geographic region, village, and vineyard. This word appetite, the psychological compelling desire to eat it. It is usually experienced as pleasant sensation associated with seeing, smelling, and thinking of food. This word term or the appetite toast refer to a Danish cheese made from a sour buttermilk. Appetizer. The word appetizer refers to a finger food served before to meal to whet the appetite. Used synonymously refer to a form of hors d'oeuvres. This word also refers to a first course of a meal, usually a small portion of hot and cold foods, also known as a starter. The appetizer wine term used improperly to describe wines served before meal and correctly called aperitif. Now we call this term apple blowpiece. Apple blowpiece refers to a cocktail made of sugar syrup, lemon juice, and egg white, club soda, and apple jack or calvados. Next term we have the apple brandy. This term refers to a brandy distilled from a massa of cider apples and usually aged in oak cask before blending and bottling. Next word, the term is apple brown betty. This refers to a colonial American baked pudding made of layers of fruit, spices, sugar, and breadcrumbs. Next word, apple butter. This is referred to a thick brown spread made by slowly cooking apples, sugar, spices, and ciders. Next term, we have the apple charlotte. This is a pastry made by lining a mold of buttered bread, then filling it with spice-sautéed apples. Next term, we have the apple dumpling, a dessert made by wrapping in an apple in sweet pastry dough and baking it. Next term, refer to an apple jack. This means we call this apple jack. This word refers to an alcoholic beverages made by grinding and pressing apples, fermenting the juice into cider, then distilling it, also known as apple brandy, or must be a sweet apple syrup, or made, or also known as an apple turnover. Now the word apple tandawni, this is a type of a dessert made into a mixture of sliced apple sauces, vinegar topped with biscuits, butter, and baked. Next word, we call this apple sauce. Cook in a apple puree or puree. Cook in an apple puree, sugar, or cinnamon, or sometimes spice. Can be smooth or chunky. Next word, we call this apple schnitz. These are referred to a dried apple slices used in Pennsylvania, German cooking for dishes such as schnitz and nap. Now the apple snow. This is referred to a creamy dessert made by combining apple sauce, sugar, and whipped egg white, and it was popular during the early 20th century, known as apple frog. The word also apple wine referred to a wine made from a sweet cider that has been chaptalized and allowed to ferment. Now the next word we call this apres or apro. This is referred to French for horse. This also word referred to a wine tasting term for harsh young red wine with a high tannin content. Now the word AQ. AQ word is referred to a menu term meaning as quoted, generally referring or to the price of an expensive item like lobster and other, and the server quote the price. Now the word the Arabica corbasi or the Arbasi si corbas. This word from Turkish. This refers to a Turkish chicken soup with a small diamond-shaped dumpling and flavored with lemon juice. The last word we have now is the Arabica coffee beans. This refers to species of coffee beans grown in a high altitude tropical and subtropical region that is very important spices commercially used for fine, richly flavored, and sometimes used in flavoring beverages known as the Robusta coffee beans. Now this we wrap up the discussion today, and thank you for joining us, and hope you share and follow my YouTube channel for the making of a chef. And don't forget also to place your comment below, and I love to hear from you. And thank you for watching and your loving support. I'll see you again in the next video.